Welcome, guys. I hope you're doing okay. I hope you all had a productive day. I'm here to do a review for you guys. A very, very interesting one. It's a developing story. I've been watching it for a while because I know something was going to come of it, and I want to bring it to your attention. Now, there's a breaking news that there's a police officer from the St. James division that was held in custody today on lottery scamming probe. And they are saying police constable attached to the St. James Police Division is now in custody at the Coral Gardens Police Station in a lottery scamming probe. And this police, they said, a number of investigators from overseas are involved in the probe. The constable is believed to be linked to a lottery scamming ring operated by Shellian, another Jamaican police constable who is now in a U.S. jail in lottery scamming charges. Allen, 42, was arrested on Friday, February 4, 2022. She has since been suspended from the force. And this is not her first suspension. When I went into my investigation, it was revealed that she was suspended before and then she appealed it and she was reinstalled. And now she's suspended again. Most likely the last one. Now, for those who don't remember Shellian, now this is a photograph of Shellian. So I can bring you back and I'm going to give you a little update because many of you may not know the intricacy of the story. So I'm going to give you a little update so you can understand where we are going with this. Now it said that I'm looking at the affidavit of Shellian. It said that Thomas M. Koch, being first duly sworn, hereby dispose and state as follows. So this police officer is the one that interviewed Miss Shellian. So he's going to explain what happened. I am a special agent with Homeland Security Investigation and an investigative branch of the United States Department of Homeland Security and have been employed by DHS as a federal law enforcement officer since August 2010. In my employment, I have conducted several investigations. I've invested several investigations. I have received specialized training from the Federal Law Enforcement Training Centers in Artesia, New Mexico, Charleston, South Carolina, and Glencoe, Georgia, in the laws and regulation relating to federal states, including various types of fraudulent scheme. Okay, so you're saying in the information contained in this affidavit is based primarily on information I learned during the course of my investigation into the alleged criminal activity of Shireen Allen, and other known and unknown conspirators. I have also reviewed reports from this investigation prepared by other law enforcement officers, including investigations with the Brown County Sheriff Office in Green Bay, Wisconsin, postal inspectors with the U.S. Postal Inspection Service and other law enforcement agencies from throughout the United States and Jamaica. As the reports were prepared by law enforcement officers during the course of their official duties, I believe them to be reliable. So this is the purpose of this affidavit is to provide information to show there is probable cause to believe Shireen Allen and other known and unknown conspirators have conspired to commit fraud by wire and conspiracy to commit fraud by mail in violation of 18, and they give it a section. We're not going to go through all of that. Until the present, the defendant conspired with others to devise and carry out a telemarketing and mass marketing scheme that targeted vulnerable victims in order to defraud and to obtain money by means of materially false, fraudulent pretense, representations, and promises. Allen and her co-conspirators herein referred to the Allen Lottery Scheme Organization. So she gave the scheme her name. Oh boy. Identified United States citizens who were elderly and had access to financial resources. Once an individual was targeted, Allen Lottery Scam Allen Lottery Scheme Organization would contact the selected victims and inform the victims they had won a large lottery, which they called the Publishers Clearinghouse Sweepstakes. Victims were told they needed to pay fees in order to get their winnings and would be contacted by phone until all their resources were depleted. Wow. Allen and the other co-conspirators did so by unlawfully, willingly, and knowingly conspiring together and agreeing together to devise representation or promises and to transmit or cause to transmit the money by property by means of wire transfer, postal money orders, bulk cash transfers, the mail, and other means which affected interstate and or foreign commerce. As a result of this conspiracy, Allen has been able to fraudulently enrich herself as well as her co-conspirators while ruining the lives of many victims. Overview. A Jamaican lottery scheme. Okay, we don't have to go through that. Okay. The co-conspirators knowingly, Allen. So we're going to go to Allen scheme and organization. In August 2020, the Brown County Sheriff's Office was contacted by Adult Protective Services on behalf of an elderly victim herein referred to as Victim 1, who resides in Broward County, Wisconsin. Victim 1 told law enforcement in substance that Victim 1 had been contacted by unknown individuals in summer 2019 who claimed to be representative of the publishing clearinghouses. Victim 1 stated that there was music in the background so as to make the call appear to be more realistic, and the caller told victims that Victim 1 had won a house, a Mercedes-Benz, and $18 million. Victim 1 was told to keep the fact that Victim 1 had won this lottery a secret and not to tell Victim 1 bank about the winnings. The call did not stop. Victim 1 received calls day and night. Others also claiming to be lottery representative for the lottery they claim she won continued to contact Victim 1, usually by phone, and directed Victim 1 to send money in cash. Postal money orders and postal cashier's check to different individuals in both the United States and Jamaica. Often, Victim 1 was provided information by the co-conspirators, including specific banking information such as account numbers. Victim 1 was then instructed to withdraw money, convert the money into money orders, and then deposit Victim 1's money order directly into the specific accounts identified by the co-conspirators. Victim 1 was also directed to send money using postal money orders to others whom Victim 1 did not know. In addition, Victim 1 was also told to send bulk cash to yet other co-conspirators in order to receive her winnings. Victim 1 believed that Victim 1 had won the Publishers Clearinghouse lottery, and that is why she kept following the directions given by the conspirators. However, Victim 1 ultimately had to sell Victim 1's house and lost $150,000 as a result of the fraud scheme. Of course, victim one never received any winnings as this was a fraudulent scheme. In November 2020, the United States included the U.S. Department of Homeland Security and U.S. Postal Inspection Service received information from the Brown County Sheriff Office in Green Bay, Wisconsin, and began investigating the internal criminal organization identified herein as Allen Lottery Scheme Organization. This organization preys on vulnerable and or elderly individuals in the Eastern District of Wisconsin and elsewhere in the United States. Members of the Allen Lottery Scheme Organization contact individuals whom they believe are vulnerable. Okay. Victim one. Once victim one was identified, the law enforcement began to trace money payments from victim one to those directed by the callers. By doing this review, several co-conspirators were identified, as were numerous bank accounts used to send the fraud proceeds. For example, on February 12, 2020, victim one purchased a cashier's check, and the check number is there, at Fox Communities Credit Union payable to Shellian Allen in the amount of $6,000. Victim one was directed by co-conspirator on the telephone to deposit the check in a PNC bank account, blah, 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 in order to secure her lottery winnings. On February 14, 2020, victim one deposited check, blah, 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 into PNC bank account and is given. Similarly, on April 21, 2020, victim one wrote a personal check via her Fox Communities Credit Union account payable to Shellian Allen in the amount of $4,000. Victim one was given instructions from the scammers via a phone call to deposit this check into the PNC bank account again in order to secure her lottery winnings. Victim one deposited the check number 1344 in PNC bank account as directed. Again, on or about July 9th, 2020, during a phone call from the scammers, victim one was given instructions from the scammers to send $30,000 inside a crockpot to a co-conspirator number one at an out-of-state address. Again, victim one was led to believe victim one had sent the cash in order to secure the lottery winnings. Victim one further explained that she sold her house based on her belief that she had won the Publishers Clearinghouse sweepstakes in order to obtain $30,000 in cash. I have overviewed a non-custodial telephone interview from the fall of 2020 between Detective Sergeant R. Arenstein and co-conspirator. The interview was not compensated in any way. Co-conspirator number one is an American citizen who traveled to Jamaica often. Now, this is going to be juicy, guys. Really, really juicy. During the interview, co-conspirator one, that is someone that was doing in the fraud scheme with Shellian, stated that he or she met a female Jamaican police officer known by the name of Shellian in a market in Jamaica, and it is known that the market is in Falmouth. We will see further below what it is. Co-conspirator one began to explain. He or she knew this female personally, as she would purchase goods from him or her at the market. Co-conspirator one stated some of the times he or she met with Shellian, she was in form and other times she was not. She was in uniform and other times she was not. Co-conspirator number one stated that during one of the meetings, Shellian approached him or her and talked about some money in the United States and asked if the co-conspirator number one could help her get it. Co-conspirator number one explained that Shellian asked for co-conspirator's number United States address, indicating she had something to ship and asked if co-conspirator number one could ship it to her. Co-conspirator number one stated he or she agreed to this to assist Shellian because she's a police officer. Co-conspirator number one described one incident when she received an $11,000 check in the mail and just tore it up. Co-conspirator number one acknowledged he or she believed there was some sort of fraud going on. Co-conspirator number one recalled possibly receiving a call from Shellian stating people were going to send cash. Co-conspirator number one also stated on another occasion she received cash inside a crock pot or a rice cooker. Co-conspirator number one explained that she or he looked in the crock pot. It appeared there was lots of money not wrapped and consisted of $100 bills. Co-conspirator number one explained there appeared to be more than $10,000 and admitted it could have been more than $20,000. Co-conspirator number one stated that Shellian instructed her to send $21,000 of the cash and leave $9,000 behind. Co-conspirator number one admitted he or she kept the $9,000 in cash and sent $21,000 in cash to Jamaica as directed by Shellian. Co-conspirator number one subsequently acknowledged he or she believed the $9,000 was fee they were being paid by Shellian for accepting and shipping package. Co-conspirator number one explained she had shipped the package containing the cash, ensured the cash, and inside of the package I have ensure, soap, detergent, and other miscellaneous items to Jamaica. Co-conspirator number one stated that she addressed the package to herself, and shipped it to the hotel where co-conspirator usually stayed in Jamaica. Co-conspirator explained he or she recovered the package from the hotel in Jamaica and traveled to the market where he or she gave the money to Shellian. The account of the bulk cash shipment to co-conspirator number one is consistent with the account provided by victim number one regarding being told to send $30,000 in cash in order to claim the lottery scam and winning. The co-conspirator number one stated she felt responsible and offered to pay the $9,000 back. I have received a non-custodial interview from the fall of 2020 between USPIS Inspector D. Riley, HIS Homeland Security Inspector Agent B. Anderson, and co-conspirator number one in Jamaica. The interview was not compensated in any way. During the interview, co-conspirator number one again told the law enforcement officers he or she met a female Jamaican police officer known as Shelly in the Falmouth, Jamaica market. Co-conspirator number one explained that he or she first met Shelly approximately 6 years prior to the interview. When co-conspirator number one was shown a picture of Allen, he or she confirmed the female in the photograph was the person co-conspirator one known as Shelly. Additionally, co-conspirator number one provided a phone number of 876-578-0634 for Allen. Okay. So we're going to skip down to Allen. This is where they're going to tell you where they get to contact with Allen. States via Southeast Airline flight. They said that I conducted a search of DHS database regarding Allen International Travel database indicated that Allen has entered the United States from Jamaica 9 times from January 2019 to September 2021. These guys are very thorough. One of these visits of the United States included the following travel. On February 13, 2020, Allen entered the United States via Southwest Airline Flight 113 from Montego Bay, Jamaica to Fort Lauderdale. On February 2020, Allen departed the United States. So she stayed there basically 9 days. United States via Southwest flight, and she came back from Fort Lauderdale, Florida to Montego Bay, Jamaica. Records indicate the next time Allen visited the United States was on November 28, 2020. On September 1, 2021, I received information from a HIS special agent at the Fort Lauderdale International Airport in Florida regarding Allen applying for entry into the United States following her arrival on a flight from Jamaica. Allen was referred to secondary inspection where Customs Borders Protection officers and HIS special agent interviewed Allen as well as conducted a border search of her luggage and cellular telephones. During the interview, Allen stated she had been a member of the Jamaica Constable Force for the past 18 years. Allen described her daily routine as general police duties, which include patrolling, court duty, and office duties. During the inspection, Allen voluntarily provided CBP officers her cell phone to be examined. So she further stated that her cell phone was not locked. The cell phone Allen handed to the CBP officers was an Android. While manually searching Allen's cell phone, an HIS special agent viewed the phone settings, which indicated the following details: model, blah, blah, blah. During the CBC officers' inspection of Allen's luggage, they discovered a second cell phone which was locked in the side pocket of Allen's purse. This cell phone was an iPhone. Allen voluntarily provided the passcode to the iPhone. The CBP officers also observed Allen's behavior change once the iPhone was discovered, including noting that her hands seemed to be jittery. CBP officers handed Allen's iPhone to an HSI special agent who conducted a border search of the iPhone. While manually searching Allen's cell phone, an HI special agent viewed the phone settings, which indicated the following detailed model, and they give you the model of the phone. And they're going to analyze it now. This investigation has identified multiple accounts of Allen in the United States which have received fraudulent funds directly derived from the scheme. One of those accounts has been identified as the PNC Bank account. On March 20, 2020, a subpoena was served on PNC Bank requesting financial information relating to checking account number requested information received from PNC Bank indicates that from October 15, 2019 to August 21, 2020, checking account number -- at sole owner of Shellian Allen with a listed address of 139 Stonebrook Vista, Falmouth, Florida. So she opened the US account but gave her Jamaican address. Wow. Bank records obtained for Allen PNC Bank account shows there were only 2 deposits into her account other than her initial account opening deposit. On February 14, 2020, there was a deposit of a Fox Communities Credit Union check in the amount of $6,000 from victim 1. And on April 22, 2020, there was a deposit of a Fox Communication Credit Union check of number 1344 in the amount of $4,000 from victim number 1, totaling $10,000. Those deposits were consistent with Allen being one of the primary beneficiaries of the scheme, as the money from the victim 1 went directly to Allen's account. Bank records were obtained from Allen PNC Bank account from February 18, 2020 to February 24, 2020, when international travel confirms Allen was in the United States as described in paragraph 25 above. Those records indicated that there were 6 ATM withdrawals from various ATMs located in Florida for a total withdrawal of $1,731.90. During that time period, records also indicate there were 3 debit card purchases at La Quinta Inn for a total of $831.68 from the account. Additionally, records indicated there were 24 purchases at various retailers in Florida, including but not limited to Gap Outlet, Marshalls, Macy's, Foot Locker, Old Navy, Elegance Perfume, Polo, Ralph Lauren, and Victoria's Secret for a total amount of $2,440.43. The total amount withdrawn from the account from these transactions was $5,004.00. The bank records were also reviewed for Allen's PNC bank account between April 29, 2020 to May 11, 2020, when international travel indicate Allen traveled back to Jamaica. Those records indicate that there were 10 ATM withdrawals from various ATMs located in Falmouth, Jamaica, and other cities in Jamaica for a total withdrawal amount to $3,453.95. Records indicate on May 11, the daily balance of the account was $46.48. Between June 8, 2020 until August 21, 2020, when the account was closed, the only transactions on Allen's PNC account appear to be monthly bank fees. Analysis of the records provided by the PNC Bank did not appear to show any normal employment-based deposit. So they are saying there was nothing to show that she was working to get all those monies. Nor was there money being deposited in the account on any regular weekly or bi-weekly intervals from other sources. Additionally, there appear to be no normal living expenses withdrawal from the account, such as housing payments, cell phone, or anything. So this account was used solely for the scamming. Your affiant knows from his training and experience that the above described conduct is consistent with an individual who opens an account to quickly receive fraudulent obtain money and then remove the funds prior to any fraud being detected. But the fraud was already detected. Therefore, your affiant believed that Allen opened the account with the main purpose of receiving funds from the victims. And as part of the investigation, law enforcement has identified 6 co-conspirators who are part of Allen's lottery scam organization. The conspirators were identified as a result of law enforcement review of victim 1 banking information during the period of time she receives the calls regarding her winnings. Co-conspirator number 2, there's another one, co-conspirator number 2, victim 1 was directed to send money totaling $17,000 to account at 2 different financial institutions in the United States controlled by co-conspirator number 2 as directed. Victim 1 made 3 separate payments cash, each under $10,000 into those accounts. The affiant knows from this training and experience those individuals in criminal activities attempt to avoid having money transfer reported by banks. In order to avoid reporting requirements, criminals often limit transactions to under $10,000 to structure the payment in an effort to make them appear to be under the required threshold. Co-conspirator number 3. Wow. Victim 1 was directed to send 3 checks totaling $7,500 to an account at a financial institution in the United States controlled by co-conspirator number 3. Co-conspirator number 4, victim one was directed to send 3 checks totaling $20,000 to an account at a financial institution in the United States controlled by victim number 4. As directed, the victim 1 made 3 separate payments, each under $10,000. Co-conspirator number 5, victim 1, was directed to send 1 check totaling $20,000 to an account in a financial institution in the United States controlled by victim number 5. Victim number 6 was identified as an individual who deposited a $20,000 check into co-conspirators account number 5 account. Your affiant knows that those involved in the criminal activity often attempt to use others to make large deposits into bank accounts in an attempt to insulate themselves from criminal conduct. A review of numerous accounts tied to the organization revealed a lost amount in excess of $1.6 million. Moreover, in addition to victim one located in the Eastern Division of Wisconsin, 16 additional vulnerable and or elderly victims have been identified around the United States. Of the total 1.6 million lost, over 128,000 was directly sent to Allen. Wow. Based on the foregoing, I respectfully submit that there is a probable cause to believe that Allen conspired to commit fraud by wire and conspiracy to commit fraud by mail in violation of U.S. section, and they give you the information. So guys, there you have it. So you know that the arrest of the constable moments ago is directly in relation to Shellian, and I presume there's going to be more arrest because the scheme is very wide and she actually put it in her name. Oh my God, this thing is going to be, it's going to be something, and I'm going to keep you guys updated. As long as there's information provided, I will keep you guys updated. But until then, comment below and let me know what you think about all of this. I would love to hear from you. And thank you for continuing to support my channel and to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you.